Welcome to English on this day. I am so happy you are here today. Let me ask you a few simple questions. Do you understand English but feel nervous when speaking? Do you forget words right when you need them? Do conversations feel difficult even after studying for a long time? If yes, you are not alone. Many learners have this exact problem. I had the same problem before. I studied hard every day. I practiced speaking as much as possible. I thought speaking practice was the answer, but nothing felt natural. Then I discovered something important. Listening was the missing piece. When I started listening more, everything changed. I began to understand English more easily. I started speaking more naturally. I felt much more confident in conversations. In this video, I will share my mistakes with you. I will give you simple tips and easy daily habits. By the end, you will know exactly how to improve your English every single day. If you find this helpful, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow and reach more learners like you. Now let's begin. Lesson 1. My biggest mistake when learning English. I wanted results fast. I thought I could speak English well in just a few months. So I pushed myself very hard every single day. I believed speaking practice alone was enough. I talked as much as possible. I repeated sentences out loud over and over. I thought this was all I needed. I spent a lot of time trying to speak perfectly. Before every sentence, I checked every word in my head. I was afraid to say something wrong. This made conversations feel slow and stressful. I also memorized long vocabulary lists every day. I wrote down word after word in my notebook. I tested myself again and again. It felt productive, but something was not working. I studied grammar rules for many hours too. I read textbooks and did exercise after exercise. I wanted to know every rule perfectly. But knowing rules did not make speaking easier. I worried too much about mistakes. Every time I said something wrong, I felt embarrassed. I tried to build perfect sentences before I opened my mouth, but the words never came fast enough. During real conversations, I felt very nervous. My mind went blank at the wrong moments. I struggled to remember words I had studied before. The pressure made everything harder. Real English was also very difficult to understand. When native speakers talked, everything sounded too fast. I missed important words constantly. I could not follow the conversation properly. I felt disappointed. I was studying so hard but not improving enough. I started comparing my progress to other learners. Some of them seemed to get better much faster than me. That made me feel even worse. I began looking for a faster way to improve. Something was clearly missing from my routine. Then I realized the problem. My listening practice was far too limited. I was spending almost no time just listening to natural English. I finally understood the connection between listening and speaking. You cannot speak well what you have never heard enough. So I made a change. I started listening more every single day. At first, the improvements were small, but slowly I began understanding more. Common English patterns started to feel familiar. I recognized words more quickly than before. Conversations became more comfortable. I felt less nervous when I spoke. My confidence grew steadily over time. That experience taught me an important lesson. Listening is not extra practice. It is the foundation of everything. Adding more listening changed my progress completely. Lesson 2. Why listening comes before speaking. Think about a baby learning to speak. A baby does not study grammar books. A baby does not memorize vocabulary lists. A baby just listens. Every day, a baby hears words from its parents. It hears sentences, questions, and simple conversations. It listens for many months before saying anything. Sometimes a whole year passes with no speaking. Then one day the baby starts to talk. Its first words sound natural. Its sentences grow longer over time. Nobody teaches the baby grammar rules. It just absorbed the language through listening. Speaking comes much later than listening. This is not a mistake. This is how language learning is supposed to work. The baby speaks only after its brain is ready. And the brain gets ready by listening a lot. This same process works for adults too. When you listen a lot, your brain gets busy. It notices patterns in the language. It starts to recognize how words fit together. It stores these patterns without you even trying. Listening creates language patterns in your mind. Your brain hears the same structures again and again. Soon, those patterns feel normal and familiar. When you speak later, words come out more naturally. You do not have to think so hard every time. Listening also teaches sentence structure naturally. You hear how English sentences are built. You notice where the verb goes. You notice how questions are formed. You do not need to memorize rules. Your brain figures it out on its own. Listening teaches you common expressions too. These are short phrases that native speakers use every day. Things like by the way or you know. You cannot find all of these in a textbook, but you hear them often in real conversations. Over time, they become part of your natural speech. Pronunciation also improves through listening. You hear how sounds are made correctly. You notice which sounds are strong and which are soft. Your ears learn before your mouth does. This is why people who listen a lot sound more natural. Listening teaches rhythm and stress too. English has a very specific music to it. Some words are said louder and some are quieter. Some sentences speed up and some slow down. You can only learn this by hearing it many times. No grammar book can teach you the rhythm of a language. Many learners rush into speaking too soon. They feel embarrassed if they stay quiet. They think silence means they are not learning. But this is wrong. Quiet listening time is very valuable. Your brain needs time to collect and organize the language. Do not skip this step. Listening also prepares you for real conversations. When you have heard many conversations, they feel less scary. You already know many of the words and expressions. You have heard the rhythm and the natural flow. So when it is your turn to speak, you feel more ready. You are not starting from zero. You already have a full library of English inside your head. So before you worry about speaking, listen more. It is not wasted time. It is the most important step of all. Lesson 3. What happens inside your brain when you listen? Your brain is always working when you listen. Even when you feel confused, something is happening. Your brain is quietly collecting information. It is doing more than you think. The first thing your brain learns is sounds. Before you understand words, you hear sounds. English has sounds that do not exist in your language. Your brain needs time to notice them. It needs time to separate one sound from another. This step is very important. Without it, words all sound the same. After some time, your brain starts to recognize words. At first, only a few words feel familiar. Then more and more words become clear. You do not have to try hard. Your brain picks them up by hearing them often. The more you listen, the easier this becomes. Then something interesting happens with phrases. You start to recognize whole groups of words together. You do not think about each word separately. Your brain hears "how are you" and understands it instantly. These phrases become automatic. This makes listening and speaking much faster. Repetition is very powerful for the brain. Every time you hear the same word or phrase, it gets stronger in your memory. Think of it like a path through the grass. The first time, the path is hard to see. But if you walk the same path every day, it becomes clear. Listening works the same way. Hearing things many times makes them stick. Listening also helps your understanding grow in a natural way. You do not sit down and study rules. You simply hear the language in context. Your brain connects words to meaning on its own. One day you notice you understood a full sentence, then a short conversation, then a whole story. It happens step by step without force. Hearing the same patterns many times is very useful. English uses certain structures over and over. For example, I want to, I need to, can you please? When your brain hears these again and again, they feel normal. Later, when you speak, those patterns come out automatically. You do not stop to think about grammar. The words just flow. At the beginning, progress can feel very slow. You listen for weeks and feel like nothing is changing. This is completely normal. Your brain is working quietly in the background. It is building something strong, just not visible yet. Do not stop during this time. Keep listening every day. Then one day something clicks. You understand more than before. Words arrive faster. Sentences feel familiar. The small daily improvements have been adding up all along. They were always there, just too small to notice. This is how the brain learns language. Slowly at first, then all at once. Trust the process and keep listening. Lesson 4. How listening improves pronunciation. In the past, my pronunciation was not good. I read words from a book and guessed how to say them. Sometimes I was completely wrong. I said words in a way that nobody understood. It felt embarrassing and frustrating. I did not know how to fix it. Then I started listening to real English, not textbook recordings. Real conversations, videos, and podcasts. I heard how native speakers actually talk. It was very different from what I had learned. But slowly, my ears started to notice things. I began copying sounds from native speakers. I listened to a short sentence. Then I tried to say it the same way. I did not focus on spelling. I focused only on the sound. This was much more helpful than reading rules. My mouth started to learn new positions. One thing I noticed was word stress. In English, one part of a word is always stronger. For example, photo, not photo, or important, not important. If you stress the wrong part, people feel confused. But I never learned this from a grammar book. I learned it by listening carefully and repeating. Sentence stress was another big discovery. In a sentence, some words are louder and some are softer. Native speakers do not say every word with equal weight. For example, I want to go home. The important words stand out. The small words become softer and faster. This gives English its natural rhythm. I only understood this after listening to many real conversations. Connected speech was the most surprising thing. In natural English, words blend together. Want to sounds like wanna. Going to sounds like gonna. Did you sounds like did ya. These are not mistakes. This is how fluent English actually sounds. If you only study written English, you never hear this. But after listening a lot, these sounds become familiar. The best way to improve is to listen and then repeat. Choose a short sentence from a video or podcast. Listen 2 or 3 times. Then say it out loud and try to copy the sound. Do not worry about being perfect. Just match the rhythm and stress as best you can. Do this every day and your mouth will slowly improve. Pronunciation can get better without memorizing any rules. You do not need to study the phonetic alphabet. You just need your ears and your voice. Listen, notice, copy, and repeat. That is all. For example, I used to say "comfort table" with 4 syllables. Then I heard native speakers say "comfortable." I was surprised. But after copying that sound many times, it felt natural. Now I say it correctly without thinking. This happens with many words over time. Your ears teach your mouth, and your mouth gets better every single day. Lesson 5. The power of listening to easy English. Many learners make the same choice when they start. They pick difficult content to listen to. They watch fast movies without subtitles. They listen to native podcasts full of complex words. They think harder content means faster learning. This feels like a serious and motivated way to study. But it often does the opposite. When content is too difficult, your brain gets stuck. You hear words but cannot understand them. You cannot follow the conversation. Your brain works so hard just to catch sounds that it cannot learn anything. After a while, you feel tired and discouraged. You start to feel like English is impossible. Difficult content can actually slow your progress down. Easy content works in a completely different way. When you understand most of what you hear, your brain relaxes. It stops struggling and starts absorbing. It can focus on smaller details like rhythm, tone, and expression. This is when real learning happens. The goal is to understand around 90 to 95% of what you hear. This is called comprehensible input. It means the content is a little challenging but mostly clear. You are not bored because there are still new things to notice. But you are not lost because most of it makes sense. This is the sweet spot for language learning. Easy listening materials also build your confidence. When you understand what people are saying, you feel good. You feel capable and motivated. You want to keep going. This feeling is very important. Confidence pushes you to listen more. And the more you listen, the faster you improve. Another benefit of easy content is learning from context. When you understand most of a sentence, you can guess unknown words. For example, if you hear, "She was very tired, so she went to sleep early," and you do not know the word tired, you can still understand it from the rest. Easy content gives your brain enough context to figure out new words naturally. You do not need to stop and look up every word in a dictionary. Easy English also gives you repeated exposure to useful vocabulary. The most common words in English appear again and again in simple content. Words like because, however, maybe, and actually. Hearing them many times in easy sentences makes them stick in your memory. You start to use them naturally without thinking. There are many great resources for easy listening. Podcasts made for English learners are a wonderful starting point. Shows like English Learning for Curious Minds or 6-Minute English use clear and simple language. Audiobooks written for children or beginners are also very helpful. YouTube channels that speak slowly and use everyday topics work well too. Even listening to English songs with simple lyrics can be useful. The key is to find something you enjoy and can mostly understand. Easy English creates faster improvement in a surprising way. Because you understand more, you listen longer. Because you listen longer, your brain gets more input. More input means more patterns, more vocabulary, and more confidence. It builds on itself like a snowball rolling downhill. Start easy and stay consistent. You do not need to push yourself with hard content to prove you are serious. The easiest path is often the smartest one. Choose content that feels comfortable. Enjoy the process and watch your English grow day by day. Lesson 6, my daily listening routine. When I first started, I did not listen for very long. I began with just 10 minutes a day. That felt easy and manageable. I did not want to burn out in the first week. Small steps felt safer and more sustainable. So I kept each session short at the beginning. My morning listening habit became one of my favorites. Every morning, right after waking up, I put on my earphones. I played a short English podcast or a simple audio lesson. I did this while getting ready for the day. Brushing my teeth, washing my face, making coffee. English was playing the whole time. It was a relaxed way to start. My brain was fresh in the morning and absorbed things easily. I also started listening while walking. Whenever I went outside, I brought my earphones. A short walk to the store became a listening session. 10 minutes of walking became 10 minutes of English input. I was not wasting any time. I was turning daily moments into learning opportunities. This felt good because I was not sitting at a desk. I was just living my life and learning at the same time. Small breaks during the day became useful too. While waiting for food to cook, I listened to a few minutes of English. While waiting for a friend, I put on an audio. Even 5 minutes added up over a whole day. I stopped seeing small breaks as empty time. I started seeing them as chances to practice. One habit that helped me was listening to the same audio many times. I did not always choose something new. Sometimes I listened to the same short episode 3 or 4 times. The first time I caught the general meaning. The second time I noticed more details. The third time, words and phrases felt very familiar. Repetition made everything clearer and stronger in my memory. I also started taking notes on useful phrases. When I heard an expression I liked, I wrote it down. Not the definition, just the phrase and the sentence around it. For example, I totally agree, or that makes sense. These came from real conversations, not textbooks. They felt natural to say. Later I used them when speaking with people. Repeating sentences aloud was another important part of my routine. After hearing a sentence I liked, I paused the audio. Then I said it myself, trying to copy the sound. I did not worry about being perfect. I just tried to feel the rhythm and stress. This connected my ears to my mouth in a very direct way. The most important thing was staying consistent every day. I did not always have a lot of time. Some days I only listened for 15 minutes. But I never skipped a day completely. Showing up every day, even briefly, made a big difference. My brain kept receiving English input without long gaps. It never had time to forget or go cold. Daily practice works much better than one long session per week. 2 hours on Sunday and nothing else is not effective. But 30 minutes every single day builds real habit and real progress. Your brain prefers small and steady over big and rare. Think of it like watering a plant. A little water every day keeps it alive and growing. Too much water once a week and it struggles. Build your routine around your real life. Use the small moments you already have. Stay consistent and keep it enjoyable. That is the secret to making daily listening work. 2/2, you said. Part 7. Lesson 7. Listen first, then speak. Many people try to speak before they are ready. They jump into conversations too early. Then they get confused and lose confidence. There is a better way. It is simple, and it works very well. Listen first, then speak. Here are the steps I follow every day. Step 1. Listen carefully. Choose a short audio or video in English. It can be a podcast, a YouTube video, or a short dialogue. Make sure it is not too difficult. Put away distractions and just listen from start to finish. Do not stop to look up words. Do not try to understand everything right away. Just let the English come in. Step 2. Understand the main idea. After listening, ask yourself one question. What was this about? You do not need to understand every single word. You just need the general meaning. Maybe it was about someone's morning routine. Maybe it was about giving directions. That is enough for now. Getting the main idea is already a big success. Step 3. Listen again. Play the audio one more time. This time, notice more details. You will catch words you missed before. Sentences that were unclear will start to make sense. Listening twice is much more powerful than listening once. Your brain fills in the gaps on the second round. Some people listen 3 or even 4 times. Each time, a little more becomes clear. Step 4. Repeat key sentences. Find 1 or 2 sentences you found useful. Pause the audio right after you hear them. Say them out loud, slowly at first. Then say them again, a little faster. Try to copy the pronunciation, rhythm, and stress. Do not just read the words. Feel how the sentence sounds and flows. This step connects your ears to your voice. Step 5. Practice speaking. Now try to talk about what you heard. Use simple words to explain the main idea. Do not worry about mistakes. Just speak freely and naturally. You can talk to yourself, to a friend, or record your voice. The goal is to use the language, not to be perfect. You are building speaking confidence step by step. Step 6. Use new phrases in daily life. Pick 1 or 2 expressions you heard in the audio. Try to use them in a real situation that day. For example, if you heard, "I'm not sure, but I think," try saying it to someone. Or write it in a message. Using new phrases quickly helps your brain remember them much longer. Why does this method work so well? Because it follows the natural order of language learning. You receive the language first. Then you produce it. You build understanding before you build speaking. This reduces stress and builds real confidence over time. Here is an everyday example. You watch a short video about ordering food at a restaurant. You listen once, then again. You repeat sentences like, "Can I have the menu, please?" and "What do you recommend?" You practice saying them out loud. The next day, you use one of those phrases in a real conversation. That phrase now belongs to you. This is how language becomes a part of who you are. Listen first, then speak. Follow the steps and trust the process. Lesson 8. Common listening mistakes you should avoid. Learning by listening is very powerful. But some habits can slow you down without you even knowing. Here are 7 common mistakes and how to fix each one. Mistake 1. Listening only once. Many learners play an audio one time and then move on. But one listen is rarely enough. Your brain needs more time to absorb what it hears. The second or third time, you catch things you missed before. Fix. Listen to the same audio at least 2 or 3 times before changing it. Give your brain the time it needs. Mistake 2. Choosing content that is too difficult. Some people think hard content means better learning. They pick fast native podcasts or complex TV shows. But when you understand almost nothing, very little goes in. Your brain gets tired and gives up quickly. Fix. Choose content where you understand around 80 to 90%. It should feel a little challenging, but mostly clear. That is the zone where real progress happens. Mistake 3. Stopping at every unknown word. Some learners pause the audio every time they hear an unfamiliar word. They open a dictionary and look it up immediately. This breaks the flow completely. You lose the rhythm and the meaning of the whole passage. Fix. Keep listening even when you do not know a word. Try to guess its meaning from the context around it. Unknown words become clear over time through repeated exposure. Mistake 4. Not repeating audio. Moving on to new content all the time feels exciting. But variety without repetition does not build deep understanding. Hearing the same material again is not boring. It is how your brain stores language permanently. Fix. Revisit your favorite audios regularly. Repetition turns passive understanding into confident knowledge. Mistake 5. Ignoring pronunciation. Some learners focus only on understanding the words. They forget to pay attention to how those words actually sound. This causes problems later when they try to speak. They say words in ways that native speakers struggle to understand. Fix. While listening, notice the sounds, stress, and rhythm carefully. Try to copy short phrases after you hear them. Your ears and mouth need to work as a team. Mistake 6. Never speaking after listening. Listening alone is not enough if you never use what you hear. Some learners consume hours of English but never open their mouths. Output is just as important as input. Fix. After every listening session, say something out loud. Summarize what you heard. Repeat a sentence you liked. Even 1 minute of speaking practice makes a difference. Mistake 7. Expecting quick results. This is perhaps the most damaging mistake of all. Many learners feel discouraged after just a few weeks. They think listening is not working because progress feels invisible. But language learning is slow and steady by nature. The results are happening inside your brain quietly. Fix. Trust the process and stay patient. Keep a simple journal to notice small improvements over time. Progress is always there if you look carefully. Avoiding these 7 mistakes will not just save you time. It will make every listening session more valuable and more enjoyable. Good habits build fast results. Start fixing these today. Lesson 9. A 30-day listening challenge for you. This challenge is simple. You do not need special tools or money. You just need 30 days and a little commitment. Let's start. Week 1. Listen for 10 minutes every day. The first week is about building the habit. Do not worry about understanding everything. Listen to easy English for 10 minutes each day. A short podcast, a YouTube video, or a beginner audio lesson. Choose something you enjoy. What matters is showing up every single day. 10 minutes feels small, but it adds up. By the end of week 1, listening will feel more natural. Week 2. Repeat short sentences. Now go one step further. After listening, choose 2 or 3 sentences you liked. Pause the audio and say them out loud. Do not just read them from the screen. Listen first, then speak. Try to copy the sound as closely as you can. Your mouth will feel more comfortable with English sounds. Week 3. Practice shadowing. Shadowing means speaking along with the audio. Choose a slow and clear recording. Say the words just after you hear them. At first it feels strange and difficult. That is completely normal. Keep going anyway. Shadowing trains your brain and mouth to work together. It also improves your rhythm and flow. By the end of this week, you will notice real change. Week 4. Use new expressions while speaking. Every day this week, pick one phrase from your listening. Find a chance to use it in real life. Say it to a friend, write it in a message, or practice alone. This is how vocabulary moves from your head into daily life. How to track your progress. Keep a small notebook or use your phone. Write the date, what you listened to, and one phrase you learned. After 30 days, read back through your notes. You will be surprised how much you collected. Seeing your progress on paper is very motivating. How to stay motivated. Do not aim for perfect days. Aim for consistent days. If you miss one day, start again the next morning without guilt. Remember why you started. Every small session moves you forward, building a lifelong habit. After 30 days, you will not want to stop. Listening to English will feel normal and enjoyable. A daily habit, kept for life, brings incredible results. Start today. Your future self will thank you. You have come a long way in this book. Let's look back at what you learned. The main lesson is this: listening is the foundation of speaking. Before you can speak well, you need to hear a lot. This is how babies learn. This is how all humans learn language naturally. And it works for you too. Listening improves your understanding. The more you listen, the more English makes sense. Words become familiar. Sentences become clear. Conversations stop feeling like noise. Listening also improves your pronunciation. Your ears teach your mouth how sounds work. You learn rhythm, stress, and connected speech just by hearing them. No textbook can give you that. Only real listening can. And listening builds your confidence. When you understand more, you feel less afraid. You feel ready to speak. You feel ready to try. That feeling is very powerful. Fluency does not happen overnight. It grows step by step, day by day. Every minute of listening is one more step forward. Every sentence you repeat is progress. Every new phrase you use is a small victory. You do not need perfect English to communicate. Nobody speaks a perfect language. What you need is the courage to keep going. What you need is consistency. Show up every day, even for a few minutes. Listen to something easy and enjoyable. Repeat what you hear. Use what you learn. That is enough. So start today. Not tomorrow. Not after you feel more ready. Today is the right day. You already have everything you need. Now go listen. Your English journey is just getting started.